you. Well, what is lurking behind the label in your child's food? A new report found toxins in hundreds of products.
We got an early look at the test results before they're released to the public.
The I-Team's Courtney Garish has the exclusive, and Courtney, researchers were even surprised by some of the results.
They were, Carol. Hundreds of different types of food were sampled, from formula and jarred baby foods to snacks for toddlers. The researchers told us they weren't just surprised by the levels of contaminants, but also by how many products tested positive.
Lead, arsenic, mercury, and cadmium.
Heavy metals many manufacturers of baby food don't test for. But a nonprofit out of Colorado wanted to know what's hiding behind the labels.
What are we actually feeding America's most vulnerable population?
Every single baby food sample went through this machine.
This is Ellipse Analytics, an accredited lab in Denver, Colorado. We traveled there to get an exclusive look at test results.
There's a lack of knowledge when it comes to what's actually in these products.
Sean Callan is the lab's director of operations and quality. To help parents make better choices, Ellipse Analytics teamed up with the nonprofit Clean Label Project and tested for toxins in 700 products. The infant formula did better.
In general, yeah.
Ranging from baby to early toddler food. Some of the results shocked Callan, like finding lead in infant formula. 35% of the formula samples tested positive for some level of lead.
I mean, that's an alarming level, particularly when we consider the effect that lead has on developing brains.
When it comes to formula, Similac and Enfamil had products that tested in the top 5 for purity, but one Enfamil formula is ranked in the bottom 5. And the lab found a chemical linked to cancer and brain damage in some food samples.
It's what you call a cumulative toxin.
The levels of acrylamide varied depending on the food.
Is a tiny amount of it going to hurt you right now? No. But a tiny amount of it over and over and over again, that's a different story.
The lab screened for 130 different environmental contaminants, from heavy metals and pesticides to antibiotics.
Science doesn't lie.
Jacqueline Bowen is the executive director of Clean Label Project. The nonprofit is focused on health and transparency when it comes to product labels. She says brands usually only test for traditional food contaminants.
Things like E. coli, salmonella, listeria.
Bowen believes that testing should be more extensive. She hopes what the lab discovered in baby food results in a call to action.
A wake-up call for brands that they need to be much more diligent. Make them go, wee.
Local mom Laura Temke works in the food safety industry.
What a label tells you is questionable sometimes.
She realizes we don't know everything that's in our food, but even Laura was shocked when we shared some of the test results, especially when it comes to organic products. According to the lab, the samples tested averaged twice as much arsenic as conventional baby food.
It's crazy, actually. You think I'm buying organic, it's free from chemicals and impurities and things.
The toxic substance also showed up in a popular kids snack.
You want puffs?
Many brands make puffs. Test results show some had higher levels of arsenic than others.
It's a little scary.
So is bisphenol A, or BPA. One of the brands Laura buys makes a BPA-free claim, but the lab found the industrial chemical in several of the Happy Family products.
It can cause adverse health effects.
In all, Clean Label Project tested products from around 80 brands. Each one has a star rating based on overall levels of contaminants and the nutritional value. 1 is below average, 5 is above. In general, the nonprofit found global brands that make up more than 60% of the baby food market, including Happy Family and Plum Organics, scored at or below average for purity, compared to other brands like Earth's Best and Beechnut, which were rated above average. Laura hopes manufacturers take this information and make an effort to do better.
Why aren't they testing for other things like heavy metals?
She plans to use some of the test results to make sure what she's feeding her kids is safe. And those results are going to be posted for the public tomorrow morning on the nonprofit's website, cleanlabelproject.org. So we reached out to Happy Family about the BPA the lab found in its packaging. The company told us it's surprised by what it calls the alleged findings. A spokesperson also said, we specifically sourced the packaging used for our products because it is made without the use of phthalates and bisphenols. We hold ourselves to a high standard and would earnestly investigate any findings that are contrary to this. And Plum Organics told us all of its products meet governmental standards, but the brand said over the past year, our team began creating new, more robust guidelines for contaminants in our ingredients.
Now, Courtney, you did contact the FDA, Did they say anything about contaminants or limiting contaminants in baby food?
So there's been a push by experts for the FDA to change its standards, and pediatricians will tell you there's actually no safe lead level when it comes to children's food. So the FDA says some heavy metals like lead or arsenic are naturally occurring in the environment, and the FDA told us it works to limit the amount of contaminants in food, especially food that children eat.
Oh, I'm alarmed.
Yeah,
it's a good tool for parents.
Yeah, it's unnerving and eye-opening. Thank you, Court.